will.
The map called me just for the parking lot.
The approval of minutes, does everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
I have one question, Chris. On
Okay.
the 27th meeting on the public comment, it says Randall McCall spoke to the board and stated his concerns. He wanted to the language of the ordinance. That's my question.
Yeah, you know that?
What was it?
Wanted something.
I didn't print that one out.
Change is probably what it is.
On the 27th?
I didn't know if it was clarification or
He wanted
language.
clarification on the gun control and music instruments. I'll have to throw it out.
Any comments? Get a motion to approve as amended, right?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Okay. Hey Peggy.
Hello.
It had been reported to us, you were searching the parking lot at the health department.
See liaison comments. Commissioner Shields isn't here.
He has a 3 o'clock meeting, so he'll be here soon.
Okay. Any comment? Media have any input? No old business? We'll discuss directives from the joint meeting. So we were encouraged by Commissioner Beal to try to get involved in some of the other boards, namely the Transportation Board came up in conversation. School Liaison Board came up in conversation. And then Matt and I went through the list that was on the website and came up with some other boards that we felt were planning related in the county that we don't have any involvement in. And those were, oh, the Airport Authority, the Economic Development Commission. I think we have 2 board, you're all from DC, right? So the Rec Commission. Were there other any boards that anyone knows of that they felt were planning related, that this board should have some knowledge or background on? Or?
Well, I think that covers most of it. Tell me, the transportation improvement, you know, there's like a group that met for a long time. Carl Gillespie was on that, I was on that, maybe some other folks that are in here on the planning board involved with that. And we put this plan together through the Southwest Commission, kind of facilitating the thing. And we finally got that filed. Is there any group like that continue to lead? You mentioned transportation or something.
Yeah, there's a transportation board that meets quarterly.
Is that for people who try to look to make a transit? Or
No, this is transportation through Southwestern
okay,
Commission.
who's on that map, you know?
Justin and Jack are on one of the boards. Justin's from the town, Jack's from the county.
Okay.
Um,
So they continue to meet. They were on it, I guess, or
Did you talk about the point system for everything? Yeah.
all road improvements.
They do that. Ronnie's talking more like a different, like a regional union or,
Like with Southwestern Commission.
right,
There's one.
different than what we're
Will
doing.
this
It's like a
Southwest
different-
not facilitate this point system?
Yeah, I think so.
And they're
Yeah,
involved in
they
that.
did.
Ronnie mentions having somebody on the board to get 441, since we did not get 441 on the books this year, it'd be 30 years before it come back up. I talked to him about that.
He's getting pretty rough shape.
And he wants somebody, I don't know exactly what he wanted, but he wants somebody from this board to go on to that. And I told him I would do it if he wanted some, I don't know what it is or what they want, but I'd sure like to see that
Well, I think it's,
paved.
the thought that I had at this point, we can't, I mean, the commissioners would have to appoint someone to be a board member of the local boards, and I don't know how it works at the regional level. But my thought was, is if if we could get a couple board members maybe to go to some of these meetings, we could kind of bring back reports about what they're talking about, so that maybe we would have an understanding. Well, that was my thought, was the EDC. I know Ben had expressed an interest in transportation, I don't know if that's still the case.
In that transportation, board, how that project happens.
What about being the meeting before people do it? Transportation.
Find
Let's
out,
go
what we'll
lead.
do is find out when it meets and then we'll set an appointment for that.
Okay.
Because we don't know when that one meets
the school board liaison stuff in case the conversation of the high school ever comes, in front of the board. And then
Airport authority.
the airport authority and the rec commission, does anybody have an interest in what those two boards do?
I usually attend the rec commission.
They only meet quarterly though too, right? So that's,
What does the rec commission cover?
They're basically sports related, thank you, Tammy. Forgot to say. They have to have a rec plan, 25-year plan. And ideally, the rec commission should have brought the sports complex out of Parker Meadows to fruition. They hadn't been meeting for a while. And it just sort of popped up and they were behind the ball. And
someone shows up on my
they're
that's
trying
wrong,
to
it's bad.
Do they think the ball is the part of it?
Not until after the fact, after it was already planned. So we're trying to get them re-involved in some of that and how to, use what we've got. Another example would be like the soccer fields at Industrial Park. They are looking at writing their own grant. The soccer board is looking to write their own grant to light those fields. So there's 3 or 4 steps to support that needs to set up. Senior games type stuff.
So Peggy and Ben, if we try to find out a little bit more about that transportation stuff and get it forwarded to y'all?
Sure.
Okay. Bill and Mark, I think, got EDC under wraps. Any insight you can give us at that level at this point?
It's kind of lonely. I personally worry about the Archer Academy. Those are probably a couple places pay as much as Caterpillar, would be like the hospital. So, I mean, that's a quality job for a county, so that's going to be hard to replace with.
How many jobs are saying now?
I think 250 or something like that. You already, well, some of them are down in Tacoma.
It's a shame we didn't get some big investments in those properties last couple of years.
Some are in Athens, my friend went to Athens.
Already transferred.
I don't know, they transferred, but they moved to Athens.
They have a plant with sale on Athens. Seems like there's somewhere else
Jim said it's
reasonably
very
close
interesting.
that I've heard some people talk about. But apparently they want to stay here as long as they need them.
Airport. Sorry, we were talking about the airport authority.
And I also talked to Ronnie after the meeting. He said he can do a trigger can use what we use.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can get them the transportation information. I think that's very important. Find out about the school board stuff, and then as things happen, maybe these other boards, we can just try to keep everyone abreast of what's going on.
One other thing, the Mountain Wise project just completed a study of a couple of years of the 8 western counties, and part of their focus, they're focused on health, but they look at how planning affects health, and it's an extensive document. It seems like we should take a look at that at some point, because it was even intended for groups like ours to use. And it talks about things like local agriculture and the various things that are affecting health in the different counties and what kind of policy things can affect that. It's a good study.
Find us a PDF for that.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, just finished.
So our next task is the telecommunications ordinance. And then I think after we get through that, we'll move on to the high impact ordinance. So can you tell us a little bit about telecommunications, Matt, and where we're at and why some of the stuff needs to change or what needs to change?
That's the copy that Chris just handed out. Back in 2013, there was a session law our House Bill 664, that's an act to facilitate the deployment of mobile broadband and other enhanced wireless services by streamlining the process that approves the placement of wireless facilities in local jurisdictions. So back in 2013, the state pretty much said, let's make it easier to put mobile towers where they can go. I've taken everything that's in the House bill that we had to add or strike and made it basically word for word match our ordinance. Everything in red is new, or not, it's not red anymore.
It's underlined.
Underlined, okay. And then everything that has a strike through it is stuff that's existing that needs to be scratched. Typically for a cell phone tower right now, you have to go through a public comment period and a public hearing. And the last two have not passed because of neighbor issues. They were placed them so close to property lines, there was not support from neighbors that it didn't pass.
The one of them was up at the airport.
And then the last one was actually in the conical zone for the airport, so it was obviously denied.
That was the cell tower that we put in the path.
Yeah. It wasn't in the flight path, but it's in what they call the conical zone of the airport. It was in one of the last rings of that zone, so we had to consider it as being in there. The way things have changed, this was written in 2001. We actually have an application right now with DNet for a 100-foot internet tower. It's going to be, I'm assuming, streaming wireless. I don't know, like a cell phone signal. Hoping their project is to get more customers and do the same thing as the cell phone company.
Now, is that something that they're doing, obviously not in town?
Not in town, it's in the thing also. I just got all the stuff on it yesterday. But that language, we had to actually get a clarification from the lawyers, is where does that fit in this whole thing? And he said it does fit. But we probably need to go through and look at some language or something. And think about how technology's changed and maybe some of the wording needs to change and some of it in the last 15 years. Once a applicant pays a fee, goes to the hearing and is approved, then they have to submit, before we can issue a permit, a maintenance and removal bond. And that bond is basically if they ever go out of service and quit using the tower, it's an amount of money to remove the tower for them. Keep the old towers from just hanging around.
So that bond is held by the county.
It used to be a cash bond held by the county. It's now pretty much a surety bond that's rewritten every year.
by insurance.
Yeah.
And that's for dismantling the tower that's abandoned for a certain period of time.
That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. If anybody's gone to and looked at it, they've just reworded some stuff, changed the fees. What was happening in some of the bigger cities was they were just charging so much money and basically making it so complicated that they couldn't work. And the legislature decided to change that.
I have a question. I looked at this a little bit, but not thoroughly. What does this have to do with these underground cable companies that's wanting to move in here? Is that not telecommunication?
It is, this is wireless telecommunications facilities ordinance. Facilities by definition is a structure. So
Do we have an ordinance for underground?
we have an old cable television ordinance. But nothing for underground.
That cable company out of Wilson, North Carolina, has been on the FCC in the news and been discussed in Washington DC about putting in a private company. They are into the Macon County line out of Jackson County now. They come into the Rayburn County line up to Macon County. And why do they not come into Macon County? What's blocking it?
Is it internet or?
It's internet,
wireless?
100 megabyte download speed of internet inside of Wilson, North Carolina. I didn't have the
Okay.
email address and I researched it pretty thoroughly. Why can they not come through Macon County?
I don't know.
Who would you ask?
You can ask them. And certainly they can tell you why they're not in Macon County.
I've not heard any reason or them wanting to be in Macon County or any,
I've heard
Reason why
that
they
they're being blocked.
well, they might be.
Somebody, somehow, in Macon County, they're being blocked.
Well, they're on the state right away, as long as they got rid of it, they're pretty much accommodating anybody out. That's my impression.
Unless Boston, unless something.
With Austin, West, Jackson, too, if they're talking about, they come through Jackson.
I don't know.
So,
But it's not us. I can assure you that.
you know, most of those people are looking at how many customers they can hook up per mile or mile, whatever, and maybe, you know, Falls and West does have. You know, they may pull a lot of customers, and they think it'd be hard to get them away from it or something, I don't know.
I was just told that some of the telecommunication, telephone people, that they were being blocked.
Well, this is wireless telecommunications, so it would-
And this is something that's
Must be
kind of
different
totally different.
The county wouldn't have the ordinance prohibited coming in.
No. We take anybody we can get.
I would guess it's political. Susan?
Obviously, you're trying to cut out a lot of the verbiage, but page 2, a lot of it has to do with aesthetics of the mountains and all that. And I can see it's quite wordy, but I wonder about possibly keeping B4 or something similar in short. That could be something like that would be nice.
The okay?
Yeah.
I'll look at it, see.
Okay, now, maybe I'm sorry, I apologize for this. This is the old ordinance from Macon County with the state suggestion.
State recommend, or requirements in red.
Red's basically been underlined.
And
Yeah,
then all the cross-outs, I mean, a whole lot of it's being eliminated, and like I said, I can see why, but I don't think there's anything left in about visual impact, and I think it's good.
Commissioner Higgin?
Carried on the way.
So the stuff that was striped, this is stuff that was striped based on its necessity.
yeah.
Oh, so it was, you mean it can't be in there?
I don't know
Okay.
I don't know, that's what I'm,
90% of it was because it was changed in the legislative law. Now, some of the stuff that pertains to Macon County was, in my opinion, too wordy, and I just figured it out.
Right.
I can go back to the
Because, and that is a consideration that it seems like we ought to at least acknowledge.
so you're saying all B, Susan?
No, just
Or
B4.
B4. Yeah, there was some other language back in here that I read that,
Reverse that.
yeah, that it specifically says whenever possible, or we encourage and none of that was striped.
Oh, okay, I made this,
There's
I kind
something,
of quit before I got to
That's
the
okay.
end.
It's not one you really want to read.
I read a while ago.
It's under 154.08. It's about halfway through. There's not page numbers, so I apologize. You can look at C is one of them. Your co-locations. D, towers shall be light gray or earth tone. After a public hearing, the commissioners can make them put a screen on it.
Yeah, it's basically, we can't really make it into county plot and paint them yellow or whatever we want to do. It's up to the board.
There was some stuff in there though where the Board of Commissioners had the authority to make them camouflage, basically. There's ridge height
They
limitations.
said, yeah, it can be kind of camouflage to the,
They encourage not to paint it so it rusts and turn brown.
Well, and
And
they
last
can't
day.
extend more than 40 feet over the tree canopy. So it doesn't,
So don't leave it on the ridge, they have to drop
try to
that.
tuck them down in.
I know one situation where a church was approached about putting one in a steeple, but then when they ran off, we said, okay, basically, and then when they got around to investigating, it wasn't a strong